All right, good morning, everybody. It is a Wednesday. I'm expecting to see a pretty big day today. Usually there is a pretty large day right before the holidays. So, of course, no trading on Friday. So we really have today and tomorrow to see that. Yesterday was very quiet. So typically also, yeah, pretty active day right after a quiet day. So we shall see. But anyway, yesterday we made a little bit, just a little bit less than $200, 195, something like that. Anyway, today we're starting off with a long on the Nasdaq. I'm trying to get up to 185.62 and a half. So that is my target. So I actually trade a couple time frames. The longer time frame is on 185.62 and a half. Shorter time frame where we take short at 184.75.
Order working. Stop filled.
Hey, short the gold. Now we are short the gold. Just took a short on the gold. Working two contract on this trade. Target. Let's see here. 2181. It's gonna be the target on the gold. 2181. I'll reverse it 2193 if I need to.
Order working.
right, so nothing on, let's see here, nothing on the S&P right now. Nothing on crude. Yes, sir. That's true. Yes. Yes, yes. All right, just waiting. Once again, it's pretty typical for the early morning markets moving a little bit slower as we slowly start to approach the 9:30 a.m. Time frame when the Dow Jones opens up. We'll see everything start to come alive. Things start moving a little bit more. But right now, we're just hanging on to a couple shorts here. Short on the gold. I'm sorry, short on the gold and long. We are long on the Nasdaq. Don't have anything on the Russell yet. Nothing on crude. Nothing on the S&P. Okay, so once again, the purpose here is we are in what we are trading a prop firm called Apex. We're in the eval process. The idea of this morning's show is to show how we can slowly and methodically hit that uh, profit target. Okay, for the eval count. Now with Apex, they're looking for a $3,000 target. We're trading a $50,000 account. The drawdown is no more than, I believe, $2,400. So we have to stay within that parameter. And and we have all the time in the world to hit that 3,000. Right now we are started the first of the month, 1st of March. My account balance is 52,272. So a little bit more than 700 to go here before we hit that $3,000 mark. Then after that, what we're going to do, we're go funded, which means we can then start trading a real account with Apex, and we'll continue to trade that. But at the same time, I will be starting 2 additional um, eval accounts. The idea that I'm going to slowly build it up. If you would like to join us during this process, you can certainly do that. So a couple ways to do that is you can go ahead and join our Discord channel. It's very inexpensive, only $50 a month. You can watch me trade throughout the day. The morning show is only good for an hour, so I'll do this up until 9 a.m. Eastern. But after that, I go into Discord, and we continue to trade throughout the day. So if you'd like to join me during the journey, you can do that via the Discord. I do have a special I can't speak this morning. It's an introduction to our Discord channel. You get the first week free. If you don't like it, you can cancel before the 7 days is up, and it costs you nothing. If you want to stay, then you'll be charged $50. So you don't get charged until you get to that 7 day mark. So you do need to sign up for Discord. Also, we do have some discounts that you can use right now. If you want to start with Apex, they can give you up to an 80% off their standard price. Right now, I think it's like 30, 35, $40, something like that. So it's very inexpensive. So that's your risk with the possibility of being able to trade a $50,000 account. Once you get to the point where you're funded, of course, then you share in the profit. So the first 25,000 after you get funded, I believe, is 100%. Then after that, anything you make beyond that, they pay you 90%. So it can be quite lucrative. So the idea is that we want to take it slow. We're not looking to kill it. You don't have to make a lot of money on a daily basis. If you have multiple accounts, and you can open up as many as 20 accounts with them. So, and the beauty of that is they can all be chained together. So when you trade in one, all those trades that you put on, okay, they go throughout all the additional accounts. So when I put in my main account, I'm going to go through all the other accounts. So you make 100, 200 in one account, you're going to make 200 in all your other accounts. So that's just the way it works. It's a really nice setup the way they do it. But at the same time, it's not necessarily easy because you do have a trailing drawdown. And also, you have to be out of the market. They're liquidate any positions that are open going up until 5 p.m. Then after that, they open up later on. Then you can put some trades on. So if you're in a trade, which we've been in many trades, and they liquidate you, and then later on you find out that it hit, that is just part of the eval process. Once you go into your funded account, then you're no longer limited to that. So definitely left a little bit of money on the table by getting into positions later in the day. But that's just the way that it is. So anyway, that's where we stand right now. So we're just shy of just a little bit more than 700 to go on this account, and then we can get to the funded process and start over. So please join us. It's going to be a fun journey. Once again, the idea here is we're taking it really slow. We're looking at 5 different markets. We're looking at the E-mini S&P, and we do trade micros. Every position that we have on, we do 1 to 2. I'm doing 2 today in the gold. So Stepping up a little bit on the gold, but these are all micros. We're not even doing minis. Minis going to be too large for this size of account. So we're doing micros. Always start with one. Like I said, just today I started with two on the gold. And I trade the five different markets. I trade all the indices, but I'm also trading gold, and I'm also trading crude oil. So this is the method I've been using for the last 35 plus years. And it does work. It's something I've developed. This is not a publicly available method of trading. Something I've developed, and it has proven itself over the last 35 years. So I just stick with it. It's pretty mechanical. I'd say at least 98% of it is mechanical. The part that's not mechanical is, of course, going to be during reports where I'm just going to step aside. And it's not that it won't work during reports, it's just that the action is so fast that a pattern can get set up and hit its target within seconds. And so we want to, we try to shy away from that. So anyway, that's where we are. So just hanging tight here on the short gold and the long Nasdaq. We'll just see how this plays out. Morning, Tim, Nathan, John. How are you? So we yesterday was really slow. We didn't actually hit our target on that Nasdaq until later on in the day. We had some late movement, but we still ended up green for the day. Slowly edging our way up to that $3,000 profit. Then we'll start again. I'm going to get two more eval counts. All right, so just hanging tight here, and it's going to be quiet. So let's just expect it to be quiet here until things start heating up, start moving. Yeah, there was very good moves in Power Hour. I think we are. We're going to see. So there's a couple reasons why I think today's going to be the big day. I mean, if you go back historically, most of your major holidays, you're going to see a day prior to the holiday where you're going to see just a really big day in the Dow. So that usually activates everything. Everything tends to have a lot of volume come in. Small Dow right now is sitting up 145, so that's a lot more than it was yesterday at this time. Plus, typically after a very slow day, you have a more active day the following day. So got a couple things going for it today. I don't think Thursday is going to be the day. I think today's going to be the day, but because a lot of people leave early on a Thursday. Because Friday is no trading, so no trading on Friday. It's Good Friday, so we have today and we have Thursday. But like I said, I think Thursday may be slow, but we will trade Thursday. Sometimes you'd be surprised. You can get some really nice movements. Though they may not be, you see a ton of volatility, you can still see some really nice movement. So we'll definitely be trading on Thursday. But I think today's going to be the big mover. So we'll see. Small small Dow, yeah, the small Dow's up 144. It is for the small Dow, yeah. Yeah, Jason, that's a good question. Do my patterns work on different time frames? They work on all time frames. Same patterns, all time frames, all markets, cryptos, no matter what it is. As long as it's a freely traded market, they do work. Yeah, so as the pattern begins to set up, I am prepared to place the order. So I can see the pattern develop. That is plotted on my computer. I do have a program written for it. So it warns me ahead of time that a pattern is getting ready to form. Now, it is possible the pattern doesn't form. Once it gets triggered, then yeah, Einstein will give me an indication. The formula will give me an indication, which is based off of a physics formula called the kinematics. We just reworked it, or is reworked for the markets. But anyway, yeah. So once a target is hit, an entry is hit, Einstein will give me the price target with the highest probability. So that's where I will place my order to get out. So right now on the gold, I'm looking at gold come down to 2181. The patterns, the probability of being hit before I get stopped out is over 70%. So definitely odds are in my favor. Now, if it does reverse, now sometimes that stop can become a reversal. A lot of times it is, but that is going to be based off of time. It has to hit that reversal within a certain period of time. Otherwise, it just becomes a stop. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. So we're just hanging tight, you know, short the gold. Gold's been really hot lately. I mean, it's been a while since gold has had a losing day. Um, Same with the Nasdaq. So basically, I also trade two different time frames at the same time. So I'll trade a longer time frame. Like for instance, I look at gold on a longer time frame, and I have a shorter time frame. So right now, as I said, I'm short the longer time frame, but it is possible I could get a buy on the shorter time frame. So if that's the case, the nice thing about trading two time frames with one market is one basically will uh, hedge, so to speak, the longer time frame. So in other words, I can pull out a little bit of profit on the shorter time frame while the longer time frame is still working a short position or a long position, depending on which way I am. So the combination of the two seem to work out really well. Right now, I can adjust the risk to reward. I can do a 1-to-1 or I can do a 1-to-2. Make a dollar to lose $2. Too too many people get caught up on the oh, I got to do I have to make $3 to make $1. Well, that's a very difficult thing to do. All right, unless you can, as long as you have a method that's you can test it against all markets. The way this works is that I know what my odds are. My odds are always going to be over 70%. So even if I lose two to make one, I'm still going to come out ahead. But I do adjust size to speed up the process, so to speak, a little bit. Um, but I can adjust it to a 1-to-1, or I can adjust it to where I'm making a dollar lose two. That's correct. You don't hear a lot about that you don't see, the thing is about, particularly with indices, but it's true with all markets. What a lot of people don't understand is that you've got to give the market room to move. All right. And so a lot of people, that's why everybody's losing. They're trying to make $2 and lose $1. And the problem is you're not given that to make that $3 move. Okay, let's say you're risking a dollar to make $3. The problem is if you want to go for a $3 move, the market's going to need more room to gyrate, and it's not going to be done. So you're going to find yourself getting stopped out a lot, okay, before it makes that $3 move. So this was way back. Studies were done way back in the 80s, where they found that if you use bigger stops, you increase your probabilities and your profits go up. And so with that being said, and I have a consistently win rate of over 70%, then that works just fine. But at the same time, like I said, I could adjust it to a 1-to-1. It's up to the individual. Have all different time frames. I can do a 1 minute. I can do a 60 minute. I can do a 4 hour. I can do a 5 minute. It works in all time frames. That's up to me what time frame I want to trade it in. Longer time frames are going to have bigger moves or longer moves, but the thing is if you have to be in and out during the day, then you don't want it to be too large because you don't want to get into a trade that's going to carry over to the next day, right? So I basically try to fine tune that so I have enough trades during the day to be able to generate a profit. All right, let's see what the small Dow's doing. Still up 145, pretty quiet. A lot of time though, a lot of time before the opening bell. A little bit less than an hour to go. Oh, I don't know. How many trades a day do I take? It depends on the market. It depends on the volatility. I don't know what the average number was. I think yesterday I had, let me see, what did I have yesterday? But it varies. I'm looking at my yesterday's activity. Yesterday I had 13 trades. 13 trades. After my commissions, see, I made 215. After commissions, came to 190.91. Goal is to make somewhere around the $200 mark every day. So I've been pretty much on track. So I went back. In the last month, I've only had 2 losing days. 2 losing days so far for this month. So you just got to be patient in the mornings, you know. Sometimes it can be really, really quiet. You have to sit on a trade for a while. So trying to starting to move a little bit here on the Nasdaq. Get this gold moving. Yeah, because Jason, that's a good question. I've never, to be honest with you, I've never traded a micro in my life up until about a month and a half ago, where I first got really looked at prof firms, and so I started experimenting using my method, um, with staying within their parameters, right? Because they have a certain drawdown and all that. And during testing, I found out that the minis were just too big for the way that I trade. So I went to micros, but I start the day with one contract. This is the first day I've actually started with two. I'm putting those on the gold because I'm expecting a big day today, so we'll see. But yeah, so I mean, you can still hit a $200 day, with the micros. I think that's the way to go with the small $50,000 account. The goal is as the account grows, or I may get funded on much larger accounts. I know minis really well. I mean, they're all the same pretty much, right? I'll go to minis, but I mean, right now, I'm happy with the micros. They work. I can adjust my size accordingly without getting too big for the account, and the stipulations they have on that account. So I would highly suggest if you're trading you're doing a eval account for any prop firm, just if you can't start with micros, you can do well with micros. Remember, the idea is I'm not looking to make $2,000 a day in a $50,000 account. All right, um, I'm only looking to make, when I finally go funded, I'll be happy with $100 a day. My goal is $200 a day, but if you have 10 different accounts and all you're doing is $100 a day, then that's $1,000 a day, guys. I mean, so don't go to the moon. Don't try to go to the moon. That's how you're going to blow out. Just little chunks out of the market, little chunks, um, multiple accounts. Stay consistent, and that's when the money's going to come. But it takes a lot of discipline. Most people don't have that discipline, but you have to be disciplined. You have to stick to it, and you just got to play it out. If you have a method that's been proven successful and it works in all markets, then if you can't stick with that, you can't stick with anything. So, but it takes a lot of discipline. Most people don't have it. So people will hear news. The other thing, if you want to trade successfully, you have to isolate yourself from all news. The market is what is truly happening, right? The closest you can get to the action is what you're seeing in price right now. It's not what you hear on the news. It's not what Joe Blow down the street is deciding to do. All that matters is you have a good method that works. You trade it, and you don't listen to anybody else or anything else. So if you're in a market that's long, and all of a sudden you hear this really negative news, I've seen this happen a lot. Is people will say, "Oh man, I'm getting out of it. It's I heard it, blah 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 blah." No, you stick with it because that is what will make you a successful trader. You have to have that discipline. Or let's say, here's a good. I see this a lot. Let's say on this gold I'm short. I want to get out at 21.81. All right. So let's say it comes down to 2181.01, right? Something like that. This is an example. Don't get out. You stick with it. Why? Well, what's wrong with getting out a little bit early? Well, the problem is you begin to form a habit of not following your program. All right, and that will lead to other habits. So you're saying, boy, I'm sure glad that I got out, particularly if it turns around and goes back up. But the problem is, the more that you do that, you're not trading the program anymore. You're trading off of your emotions. All right. People say you can never go wrong taking a profit. You sure can. It happens all the time. All right. So you got to stick to it. If you have a target, either you get hit the target, and or it doesn't. Period. All right. So Nasdaq is finally starting to move here. Once again, 185.62.5 is my target. Gold, let's get that moving down to 21.81. That's my target on the gold. Not seeing anything right now on the E-mini S&P. Nothing on crude. Nothing on the Russell. Trade Forex a long time. If you go to my website, you'll see I traded Forex. I've traded stocks. It works and then everything. I do trade stocks in my retirement account. I also have a cash account that I trade. But if you want to see a little bit of history on the stocks, you want to see me trading stocks or Forex, just go to innovativetradingstrategies.com. It's all there. You can see that. Live while I'm trading it live. So my goal is to, I want to find 100 dedicated traders that will be trading my method. I call it, right now I call it EPM, Einstein Pattern Method, because it's a formula plus patterns. I'm trying to find 100 dedicated people, and we'll get them started. We'll get, hopefully help them all get funded with at least 10 to 20 accounts. And we're all trade together as a group. And so I'm going to limit it to 100 people. So Einstein will be available up until that point. I will, right now it's not available. I will be offering, I'll take in 5 additional more at this point. And then once it's done, it's done. It's not giving Einstein to everybody in the world. Not going to give it to any broker. I'm not going to give it to anybody that wants to trade any kind of funds, people's money. It is controlled by a very strong contract that was designed by an attorney. And so when you sign that, you basically are signing the fact that you can't share it and you can't trade. Now you can trade for family members, but you cannot trade it for anybody else. So I'm very serious about it. This is not a I'm gonna get rich selling systems. Anybody that's been with me for the last 3 years know that's not. I am a trader. That's what I do. I'm not a marketer. You can probably tell that. I don't spend a lot of money on marketing because I'm here to trade every day for myself to make money. And if some people want to join me, that's great. If they don't, that's fine too. But I'm not some guy that was making, just has been around for 2 or 3 years. I know a lot of people, even back in the 80s, that had done well for a few years, and then you get these big clients that throw them millions of money, and then 2 years later, they no longer exist. So just because somebody's been doing well for a couple of years doesn't mean anything. You've got to be able to trade through all markets, bull markets, bear markets, sideways markets. I've got 40 years of trading under my belt, so I think I know what I'm doing. I'm proving it, and so either people want to join me or they don't. So that's. But I will help you, and the people that have joined me are on their way to, if not already, full-time traders. All right, gold, let's get going. So what you're going to see here, I've seen it so many times, is that everything starts to heat up. Once again, as we start to get closer to, coming up on 8 o'clock, and then after 8 o'clock, you just start to see things start moving again. And obviously, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for some movement in here. And as we get more movement, we'll probably get some higher targets, bigger targets, get a little bit more velocity in here, so to speak. But yeah, study, if you want to study a little bit more, Einstein was designed back in the 80s. And it's basically based off of a principle in physics. The formula is called kinematics. I think it's spelled just the way it sounds, kinematics. Nope, same pattern. You're going to go to my website, innovatortradingstrategies.com, and when you get to the first page, on the top it says Discord, and you just sign up under Discord. Keep in mind that when you go into the I'm not training people on Einstein and Discord. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to follow me during the day. If you want to learn Discord, that's going to be totally different. All right, so right now the purpose of Discord for $50 is just gives people the ability to see me trade during the day. You'll be able to see how I'm trading, what I'm trading. Everything is fully disclosed, just like you're seeing here. I tell you when I'm getting in, when I'm getting out, where I'm reversing. If it's setting up a pattern, I'll let you know it's going to set up after it hits a certain price, and then Einstein will calculate how far it's going to go. And then if you like what you see, then like I said, there'll be a limited amount. I'll be releasing another 5 Einstein packages, and then shut it down, and then I'll release it again sometime during the year. But I am looking for serious traders. I'm looking for people that want to do this for a living. I trade pretty much all the time. I'm here every night. I go into our Einstein room, and with our Einstein traders, we go over the daily action. We look at our patterns. People that need help, we discuss it. If they're having difficulty, which is typically more mental than anything, it's just the whole idea of people can't. The biggest problem is discipline for most people. So we try to work that out and kind of have to look at things a little bit different when it comes to trading. All right, you got to be able to control your emotions. You got to be disciplined. You got to stick to the plan. There's, trade the markets, don't trade your equity. So in other words, I don't look at my equity during the day. I trade the markets. So I don't like to see the equity up and down, up and down, up and down. that will drive you nuts. Your best just to focus on the markets. If you trade the markets, the equity will take care of itself. Just trade the markets. All right. I have about another 10 minutes here before the top of the hour. Once again, if you'd like to learn more about myself, my history, you can go to innovativetradingstrategies.com. I also have tons of video, 400 videos, I think. I think probably more than that on my YouTube channel. Also wrote a nice article you may find interesting called The Holographic Market. I wrote that back in the late 80s, and it was published in a magazine. So you'll see that I've been around for a long time. I'm not just making that up. I have been trading since the early 80s, but it's called The Holographic Market. And it, like I said, it was published back in the late 80s. And you can read that on the website, read the article. So I just look at markets a lot differently than what is available. And that's, if you want to be a successful trader, you have to be creative. You have to look at markets differently. See, when it comes to trading, you don't want to be following the crowd. You don't want to be using what everybody else is using because everybody's losing money. That tells you shouldn't be using it. So you see a lot of that. I start with one, but I've been up to yesterday. I had seven on. I had seven. I worked my way up to seven on one. So if I'm going to, like I said, I can definitely add. So all of that on the micros, I had seven micros on, but all of that, I know what the let's just say momentum is only going to rotate so many times. So when you have momentum moving in a certain direction, all right, it's going to keep going in a certain direction. If you study kinematics, you understand the whole concept. But it works the same thing in the markets with momentum, but sometimes momentum will shift and go in the other direction. Um, but that only happens so many times. I know what that number is. And so based on that, I can add size because I know how far out I'm going to have to go. That has also been factored into the maximum risk. So if I have to put on seven contracts, it's certainly within, my ability to stay within their specified trailing drawdown. So that's the other thing I have to look at. So I've worked it all out with the micros. Well, come on, gold. Let's get moving. Yeah, micros. I know what you meant. I think you meant micros. Yeah. Your name sounds familiar for some reason.
Order working.
All right, so the Russell's starting to pick up some momentum here. I am beginning to form one of my patterns. This particular one we call an HF1. So that pattern will finish its formation here at 2107 and a half. I'm going to buy Russell up here at 2107 and a half. So I do put my working orders in ahead of time. And if for some reason the pattern dissolves, I'll go ahead and cancel it.
Order working.
All right, orders in. All right, so we're slowly creeping up to our target, 185.62 and a half on the Nasdaq. Yeah, I can go higher. I can go higher depending on the market. Yeah, I can go higher than 7. Remember, these are micros, so the what, a tenth of the size of a mini. So yeah, that's the beauty of it. And Apex will allow you to do up to 100 micros. Sounds like a lot, but that's what, 10 e-minis. Oh, that's right, you did. Okay, you asked me something last week. Yeah, I knew. Jason, I knew your name sounded familiar. Love for you to join us. Don't think you'll be disappointed at all. And I'll give you, I do share a lot of tips along the way, things I've learned over the last 40 years. I do know a lot of very successful traders that are private traders that do very well. And there is something that everybody has in common. They all, I would say, all of them are price action traders. They don't use indicators, price action. Hey, it's now 8 o'clock. I'm going to have to wrap everything up, guys. So I'm going to switch over to our Discord channel once again. Please join us. You can try us for a week. It's free. And then after that, it's only $50. So check us out, innovatortradingstrategies.com. Everybody have a good day. I'll do, at the end of the week, I always do a recap for the week. I don't like to do it daily simply because it's just, I'm a one-man shop. I'm a trader, so I get to it as soon as I can, but I will get it out. And feel free to ask any questions. If I don't get to your questions, either during the live show, you can contact me via the website, and I promise I'll get back to you and answer your questions. All right, everybody have a great day. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to see one of those days where things are just going to be moving really good. So looking forward to it after a slow day yesterday. Okay, everybody have a good day. We'll talk soon.